Okay, good morning, everyone. It is Saturday morning, and it's April 29th already. Can you believe April's almost done? Um, wow, we had two very surprising games last night, didn't we? In the Fed. Not necessarily surprising in, you know, who won, although I think a lot of people are surprised by the one, but just the fact that both games were 6-1, that was a surprise to me. Um, when I looked ahead to these series, I looked at two very tough, hard fought, competitive series, and I just realized that it's cut off just a bit. There we go. Um, I thought both series would go to three games, which I still think they very well could. But I did not expect one team to dominate the other this much. That was a surprise. So, yes, taking a look first at the Empire Division Finals between the Danbury Hat Tricks and the Binghamton Black Bears. Yeah, Black Bears come out on top in front of the home crowd and 6-1. And Black Bears got two goals from Tyson Kirkby. One was on a power play. The game-winning goal came from defenseman Colin Fitzgerald. You had Austin Thompson, Don Oliveri, Chad Lopez, all chipping in. And for the hat tricks, they just weren't able to really get themselves going. Lucas DeVenedette, who has been probably the hottest uh, hat trick as of late, he gets the power play goal for the lone tally for the visitors. And this game pretty tight. First 20 minutes, teams go in tied up at one. There's a lot of stick on stick action. There's a lot of uh, plays being broken up. There's not much offense really being generated on the whole. And then the second period, Binghamton scores two goals within a minute, and that pretty much sent things over the edge. Penalty minutes in this game now, I wrote down it was 43-11 for Danbury. That does include two game misconducts, which in terms of minutes gets calculated as 10. Um, so 23-11 if you don't count the misconducts. But that included three major penalties, one for fighting, and then, both Tobias Ojic and Daniel Amesbury, they get the gate. I'm fully expecting that Ojic will be suspended for today's game. Amesbury might be. The nature of Amesbury's penalty lends itself to a possible suspension. If it was a little less obvious, I think he might be available to play tonight. But and that's something that the FPHL officials will discuss. So anyway, in this game, a lot of Black Bears chipping in. Gavin Yates with 3 assists. Chad Lopez had a goal and assist, as did Colin Fitzgerald, and Jesse Anderson also had 2 assists. Taylor Joseph, 27-28 saves. Now, I would qualify 7 or 8 of those as high danger chances. Joseph really didn't face much of a test, and again, it just didn't seem like Danbury. I never got a sense that Danbury found their rhythm in this game, which was one of the big keys to the Black Bears' success. That they basically shut down the high flying, multifaceted offense of the hat tricks. So, that's the way that turned out. Officiating, we'll give it a meh. There were, by my count, two very obvious penalties that should have been called on each team that the refs just missed. Now, I appreciate the fact that they were trying to let the game go and play out without much without much offensive officiating interference. Excuse me, but um, yeah, there were 4 calls that should have been made that were not, that were just blatantly obvious, including um, Johnny Ruiz getting taken down on an offensive rush. He had a potential breakaway, got hauled down, and nothing. So it's kind of an odd game. Anyway, Brian Wilson, he had some struggles with controlling rebounds. Faced a lot of shots, 38 shots, 32 of them he stopped, 6 got by him. So that's the way that turned out. So tonight, 7 o'clock, it's the later of the 2 games in Danbury, and it'll be very interesting to see what happens with suspensions if 2 of Danbury's agitators, if you want to call them that, are not available. That's going to completely change their game plan. However, saying that, Danbury played 27 games without Amesbury in the lineup this year. They played 39 games without Ojic in the lineup, and they were the best team in the league anyway. So they don't need the rough and tough stuff. They can win on their skill. They proved that many times over. So we'll see if they try and figure out how to get their offense generated again. We'll see. Danbury, as of late, DeBenedette, Marchesant, McKittrick, those guys have just been dynamite. So we'll see if they can get it going with the home crowd behind them. 7 o'clock tonight. Other game, Columbus River Dragons. Not a surprise that they won, but again, 6-1. It was just like, my goodness. And it was over pretty quick. 3 goals in the first 20 minutes to take control of the game. And 12 players ended up on registering a point, finding their way on the ledger last night. So you had goals by Kyle Moore, Jacob Kelly with the game winner, Michael Greco, Alexander Jemaev, Jay Krupp, and Josh LaBelle. And then late in the third, Peter Panachik finally got one past Brayton Colgan for their goal. Panachik has been the best Thunderbirds player in the last, I'd say, 4 weeks, dating back to the regular season. Yep, better than Gus Ford, better than Lucas Rowe. Panachik's been the man. So anyway, 6-1 final there. And this was another game. Carolina they were able to get a lot of perimeter shots. Obviously you see they outshot Columbus, but they just weren't able to get a lot of their tape-to-tape passes going, and that's the thing that has made them one of the best teams in the league this year. Is their passing prowess to find the open man, get the puck to the right man at the right time in the right spot, and score. And Columbus did a tremendous job at clogging up both the neutral zone and the high slot area, just not allowing much to get through for Carolina. And so they weren't able to really generate things, and so then later in the game they had to revert to more of a trying to create room by skating, and that's not Carolina's strength. I'm not saying they're bad skaters. It's just they're used to looking for open man, moving the puck all over the place, driving the goaltender nuts, and then they light up the scoreboard, and they just weren't able to do it yesterday. So that will be very interesting to see if Columbus can keep that going. A fine defensive effort. With between the two games, I would say Columbus's defensive effort was better than Binghamton's defensive effort. Um, it was just phenomenal. It was a clinic. So anyway, uh, Brendan Colgan doing Brendan Colgan things, stopping 35 of 36 shots, and Boris Babick, he got chased early. You don't see many off nights by Babick, and last night just unfortunately happened to be one of them. So Greg Hussey came in, played pretty well in relief, stopping 17 to 19. Babick stopping 10 of 14, and so now they make the 6-hour trek over to Winston-Salem for Game 2 at 6:05 this evening. And again, it'll be very interesting to see if the home ice advantage plays a factor in tonight's game. Again, Columbus, just a wonderful, wonderful game plan um, as far as shutting things down against Carolina. Great game plan by the coaching staff of Columbus. And so here we are. 1-0 lead for Binghamton, 1-0 Carolina. 1-0 Columbus. And we will see what happens tonight. Again, I would not be surprised if the home team wins both games today. I still think that both series could go to 3. But so my predictions for tonight, I think it's going to be a very, very close game in Danbury. You're not going to see a 6-1 score. I'm thinking more like 4-3, something like that. Um, uh, and again, if Danbury gets their offense going, that could turn the tide a little bit. As far as Carolina, they are a much better team at home. I think Carolina's home ice advantage is one of the best in the league. They really get the fans going. You all know Toga Man, and the whole group. They really get behind their team and get them fired up. So I am expecting different results in both games. I am going to give the home team the edge in both games. Um, I think we go to game threes in both series, and we'll see. Now, as far as the outcome of things, to clarify, I said in yesterday's podcast, I really believe that Binghamton Danbury was a pick'em series, and I said whoever wins game 1, I believe wins the series. So I honestly believe Binghamton's going to win the series Monday night. As far as Carolina, I think they can turn it around. I think that they squeak it out somehow and find a way of winning the series. But again, in 3, obviously, because they're down 1-0. So very entertaining divisional final series leading to the big tamale, which again, unfortunately, is just a best of 3 for the Commissioner's Cup. Boo. All right, so that is it for today. I am Gary Ryan for the Fed League Flash. Always remember to hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment down below. Let me know who you think is gonna pull a win out tonight, and let me know who your favorite teams are. Appreciate all the support. Always remember, we will have if especially if the Danbury series goes to a 3rd game, we'll have a Spotify report on Tuesday recapping that series. All right, thank you again so much for watching, for tuning in. Gary Ryan here for the Fed League Flash. Have a great day.